All right, man. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the daily money markets and welcome to the daily trade analysis of the day, man. Today it's Friday, last day of the week. I'm very, excited about the day. And yes, yesterday we didn't drop any type of analysis, but the day before yesterday and from Monday. So yeah, it's because of how the market has been actually reacting. So we had to give it a little bit of a space so that it can breathe out, and then we can come back and actually analyze. That's how things actually, quickly and happening actually at the moment in terms of the global financial market. So there's a lot of interesting that I actually just discover this week about how the market is actually doing. So I'm going to tell you a few things in terms of how I discover how the market is performing, and where is the possibility of actually the biggest news that is coming today, which is consumer producer price index, right? PPI is actually happening today. So if you look at it, I want to take you back. Maybe let me just, before I go anywhere, let me just put the chart on gold, right? Perfect. I want to take you back on the beginning of this week. Beginning of this week, right? Or maybe let me take you back on last week, Friday, the day that we saw NFP, non-farm payroll from United States actually coming out, and the numbers in terms of the results, they were actually above the expected. So they were expecting to add the job in terms of non-farm payroll to be around 180,000, being new job added. But now the numbers come to 330 something thousand. That means they have added extra 150,000 new jobs that they just entered in the market. And that time, if you look at it, the chart here, at that time, this is the type of movement that we see, right? Because of the positivity of Friday. I think it shot up that time, and then it come back Monday, which is cool a little bit, drop a little bit, and all the way it keep on dropping until the CPI, right? Now, the consumer price index, again, the numbers comes out. The numbers again, they were not that high in terms of the way they were expecting, right? So yes, they were a little bit higher, but not that much like the way NFP it was. So it shows that a lot of people, they actually get, and not a lot, but more people, they got jobs in US, and in that way, they are actually participating or spending in the economy, but they are not spending a lot of money. They are very cushion in terms of spending because of they don't know what is going to happen in terms of the interest rate. They don't know if I spend this money and then the following month the interest rate is going to go up. Right now, everything that I pay, I'm going to have to pay more. So let me save it, right? So we saw the consumer price index that the consumers didn't actually spend a lot of money in the market, right? But they spend a little bit more, but not that much. And again, there were specific industries that consumers actually participate and really spend that a little bit extra amount. So we saw the market to drop, right? All the way down, declining instrument like gold, the one that we're checking. If we look also in terms of NASDAQ, so look at NASDAQ here. From it was this up, I think the price on CPI, it was sitting around 18,000 in NASDAQ, which is the highest point. It drops all the way to 17,400 on that information, on that specific information that people, they're not that much in terms of spending. So yeah, I need you to just hold on here and look at these charts. So, all right. All right. So that's what I was talking about in terms of, NASDAQ, in terms of CPI. So it's just a little bit of flu. Okay. So in terms of the CPI, as what I was explaining, that it drops because of the declining of actually, a consumer price index. But during the week, look how the market has been doing, has been recovering bit by bit, trying to recover the drop that happened in a day, bit by bit, from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way today to Friday, right? So the picture that is giving us is that the market is not dropping. The liquidity in the market is not dropping. People that are investing money or investing resources in a global market, they are not allowing the market to drop the price or to drop the share price in a stock market. So they keep on pumping up the money so that the market can actually, go all the way up. I'm going to give you another example of one of the stock that actually, a lot of people, they were surprised. Every stock market house, they were talking about that stock. So this is S&P 500, right? S&P 500, if you look at it on Tuesday, this is what happened on S&P 500. On Tuesday, it was sitting at 5,050, right? Which is the highest record that it never happened. But from there, it drops all the way down because of consumer price index. Although the companies that are listed on the S&P 500, their earnings, they're positive. They're bringing the positive earnings. But because of people, they're not spending a lot of money in the market, we saw the decline of it all the way to 4,923 per stock price. But it started again to recover itself back again to 5,000, sitting at 5,029. What tells you is that people, they are actually trusting in stocks at the moment. Although the Federal Reserve, they haven't released any type of a news about the future interest rate, whether they're going to increase it or not. But people, they're believing in the stocks, they're believing they put their money in the stock market so that they can keep it there instead of maybe use it in a different way, or maybe buying in a different things, rather than they keep the money in a stock market. So that's actually what I see and what I realized this week in terms of the global market. And we saw the UK retail sales coming out today in the morning, and they're actually just above again, so everything is becoming positive again, although the consumer price index from states decline. The UK now, it's actually show a positivity. That's why we're seeing this recovery of the market. Now the question remains is, what will happen today? Because today's the last day of the week. Today again, it's producer price index. Now we want to hear from the producers that whatever product that you've been producing, have you sold that product? Because if the consumer declined, that means the product is still staying in a warehouse, right? If his product are still staying in a warehouse, that means they're not making money. If they're not making money, we need to see the drop or a decline on the instrument. But there's a couple of things, couple of twists again in terms of today, because later on, we're going to see again, there's a 5 o'clock US news that is coming, which is consumer sentiment, right? Now it's going to give us the overall of what has been happening in terms of consumer, from the wholesaler perspective to producer perspective to consumer themselves perspective. So yeah, let's start. Let's jump in. This is Xauusd from the Daily Money Market, as we always do. First of all, let's just go and check it out in terms of our fundamental of the day. What is happening in terms of the fundamental global impact volatility. So again, China has been quiet, I think, because of it's February. A lot of people, they don't know that February, it's the beginning of the new year in China. That is why every time we see China banks are closed. So they're on holiday. So 9 a.m., as I was expecting, there was a retail sales that come from Great British Pounds in UK, and it was positive. That is why we're going to see a little bit of instrument having a volatility at the moment. 3:30 p.m., that's where we're seeing core PPI, producer price index month to month, all the way to 5 p.m. Now we're seeing premium consumer sentiment. So this is where the tricky, it's actually, you know, happening, but let me jump in the market immediately and start looking. So first of all, let's see GER30. GER30 has been actually, you know, performing fantastic for the whole week. In fact, if we go to a bigger time frame, this is the consumer price index, the CPI, but from there it actually surpassed where the price it was on the CPI, keeping on pushing it over and over again, you know, to above. Especially the news that has been released today, it shows some positivity. So I'm not sure that a GER30 is going to drop to this level, but I might think maybe because of the producer price index and because of US consumers didn't perform well, so it might happen that it drops a little bit to this level. So not that much in terms of movement, goes all the way up. It can go even a little bit upper just to retest some type of other levels around there. Touches there, come back at 17,058 at this level. And then we'll see, maybe it might break and come back again to this level of 17,008. But I don't think there will be much volatility because of once it breaks and come to 1756 and consumer sentiment of US come out, we'll see the recovery of that drop all the way up. So the market are actually in a bullish movement. If you look at it, the Euro USD at the moment forming a very nice look at this. This is what happened on you know, on the CPI, drops all the way down, but still the market shows the stability, you know, to say that no, we're not going to be on a low, we're going to push the price to where it was. This is very, very hard work. It's a lot of companies producing a lot of, you know, good results, a lot of Federal Reserve coming up with a good stats in terms of consumer price index, in terms of retail sentiment from United Kingdom. That is why we're seeing Euro USD. What will happen today? I think again, on a producer price index, the price is going to drop. Why I'm saying this, I'm taking it because of the same sentiment that consumers, if consumer didn't buy, right, and the price declined, that means the producers also, it might be, they can't produce more if the product are not selling. So probably the price, the Euro USD want to push the price to 1.07761. From there, it will drop all the way to 1 maybe 7210, somewhere around there, just to retest 7210 around here. And then when consumer sentiment come in, it goes all the way up again to close on above. So the market today, when the market is closing, definitely it might be closing around closer to where it was from Tuesday. So that's a Euro USD. Again, another thing, maybe we can look at the gold, because gold also performed very drastically on Tuesday when consumer price index dropped. This is all the way that what happened. But on Wednesday, I anticipated that the market will correct a little bit to this level, and this is what happened exactly. Now, what will happen today now? Would gold continue dropping, or would gold correct, recover, and go back to this level? Because gold, since then it drops. A lot of instrument we saw it recovers to where it was, but gold, it hasn't really recovered to that. Now, this is what I'm thinking. If consumer price index, they were not that much positive, and if producer price index is not going to produce a positive results as well, what will happen is that people, they're going to now start looking for the self-haven, right? Instead of moving from the self-haven, they're going to now start looking from the self. So I'm anticipating gold to continue, goes all the way up to recover, because now people will be like, oh, okay, producers didn't do well, consumers didn't do well, the sentiments, whatever results that are going to come out, but people, they will start, you know, start putting their money in the self-haven, which is gold, which is vice versa of a dollar, and it's gold, right? So I'm anticipating the market to push all the way to the roof when it comes to gold. Okay, this is where I think the zone where the market, it just have to break this level of 2007. Once it breaks 2007, it's going to push the price all the way to 2029. That not much in terms of no, that's a lot, in fact, in terms of the pips. It's quite some move, quite some pips that you can actually, accumulate or calculate or get from that move. Clear move. Already has been collecting. Do we think it will drop and go back? I don't think so. I think it will go all the way up. Then maybe consumer sentiment comes. It might start, dropping bit by bit. But even by the end of today, it won't be at 1,900. It will remain still on 2010, 2000 somewhere level. Okay. We could have looked at Japanese 225, but again, not much happening in terms of Japanese 225 because of the China holiday. Again, Hong Kong Stock Exchange is closed, so it does move along. That is why we're seeing this type of movement. No much in terms of, showing any type of stability all the way since 15th of Feb. So that's the JP225, how it's looking. But when it comes to NASDAQ, what we think NASDAQ is going to happen, NASDAQ at the moment, it touches where we're anticipating the short recovery on Wednesday. Again, we are actually looking to push the price all the way to here. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking, that it will continue push the price, touches to 18,000, drop all the way here to 17,000, then make a decision from 17,000, maybe from next week, Monday. So right now it's a bullish movement that we're going to expect to recover all this type of movement all the way to, whether PPI will push the price to this level. When a New York session opens, it might starting, dropping, and sentiment drops, it might continue drop to 17,720. So that's what I'm anticipating, that the market will continue go up, touches 18, and then drop back to 17,720, which is NAS100, which is NAS100, NASDAQ. When it comes to US30, it already touches the roof. Man. That's the one thing that I realized recently, that NASDAQ and US30, they're no longer performing the same. There's a little, the other instrument, it's actually, above in terms of, movement, and the other one, it follows what is doing. Before it was NASDAQ in front, US30 it's following. These days, I'm seeing US30, it's the one that is leading in terms of the, the movement, and the NASDAQ, it's actually, following the same type of move. So while NASDAQ is keeping on pushing the price to get to where it was, US30, it's already touches 38,748 per stock in terms of the dollar. What we're anticipating, it's actually the price to drop again from the PPI, because it's a leading instrument, it's a leading index at the moment, might drop to 38,507. But it might break 38,537 and pushes all the way to 38,288. The only thing that I'm denying, that the market will go all the way to where it was on consumer price index. So this is actually the biggest move that I think the market will get. Goes all the way here, drop to this level. Yeah. So when you go on a 15 minutes time frame, it's actually the whole flow. But if you go on a 30, we're talking about in the middle range of where the consumer price index actually, drop, and it surpassed that price. So yeah, guys, that's a couple of few instruments, and again, the backing up of the story, or of the news, of the fundamental news, and how they're actually, are performing at the moment. So yeah, man, that's how the market is looking. Thank you very much for actually tuning in. Keep subscribing. Yeah. Thank you.